Hi everyone, as promised from my last video, I have a project share of what I've been working on for the last, I guess it's been about a week. I'm in a swap, it's a one-on-one swap hosted by Scrap and Passion 01 through her channel. Betty picked the partners, and my partner is Letty, who is MyLittleSweetPeaz here on YouTube. Hi Letty, if you're watching, and if you want to be surprised, Letty, stop this video now, and you won't see anything that I've made for you. But if you want to continue, that's up to you. If you want it to be a surprise. So, Letty and I agreed. The swap entails 4 sets of embellishments, and it's 2 items per set. So, for example, Letty and I agreed to do 2 charms, 2 flowers, 2 sprays, and 2 altered lace or ribbon trims. So I'm going to show you what I did for our swap. And so this is your last chance, Letty, if you want to hide from what you see, just stop the video. But anyway, so here's what I made. Excuse me. These are the 2 charms that I have, and you can see the ribbons in the back. I created 2 charms for Letty, and this first one is using the Tim Holtz clock, and I'll bring it forward and try not to get the glare in there. But what I did, and let me see if it'll focus, was to use the paper stack. It's a 6x6 stack that I have, which is from the Kaisercraft Bonjour line. I just used a little circle die cut that's in the back of the stack, and it was scalloped, so I cut the edge off so that it would fit inside the clock, or the pocket watch, I'm sorry. And then I used some flowers that are from my last order from Wild Orchid Crafts. The roses here, and then these little buds, and then some sprays. So I used that to create a little tiny spray to go around the watch, and then I had a metal embellishment of the Eiffel Tower that I placed inside. So that is what is inside of the pocket watch, and on the back I went ahead and signed it with my information. And I put a little bling on the top. So that's the pocket watch. And then dangling from the same closure, or the hook, is a little key that I gessoed white and then painted it pink. And then I added this little charm here, which is from Industrial Chic. And then going up the chain, I used one of those Tim Holtz, I don't even know what you call these. It's a hook that, you know, you can open it up and hook it to something. And I put some seam binding on that. This is the 1/2 inch seam binding. I think it's 1/2 inch. It's the, you know, skinnier one. And then I put a little bauble here that is also, I believe this is from Industrial Chic as well. And then I have a little Tim Holtz metal embellishment that says Life. So that is my first charm for Letty. And I can't hang it, obviously, but can show it to you as best I can. And then I have another charm here that I created also for Letty, which is the second charm that we agreed to do. And I have it hanging from a ring, but there's a lobster clasp. So what I'll do is when I send it to her, I will mount this on something so that it can stay inside of packaging pretty well. So here's what I created as my second charm, and I've created these spool charms before, so let me start from the top. There's a lobster clasp here that's connected to a jump ring, and this jump ring is from Industrial Chic. I have a key, and I can't remember where I got these keys from, but I ordered them online. So I have keys here. Oh no, this is from the Scrapbook Convention, I think. I got these at one of the booths. These and some smaller sized ones. Actually, the other one I probably used on the other charm. But they're the same color normally. And then this is a Arctic cake. And there is an image in here. Let me see if I can find a white piece of paper. Here we go. Use this envelope. Credit card statement. So there is an image in here, and it is a little girl in a dress. I don't know if it will focus in on that. There we go. So you can see it. You can't see it very well against the black, but there you have it. So I put an Arctic cake on here, and it's actually a glass or crystal charm connected to this, and then there's a little flower here with some lace attached to it, and that was all together. So I just put that at the top of my charm. And then I used a necklace, a portion of a necklace for the chain here, and also attached another little metal embellishment with a crown. I attached that to a jump ring, and I created this little eye hook with some silver wire, ran it through a glass bead and another bead here through the top of the spool and down through the bottom here, and created another eye hook. So there's 3 beads, 2 at the top and 1 at the bottom, another eye hook, and then a little flower charm that is also from Industrial Chic. And the bling used to be the wrong color pink, so I colored it black, because the swap is supposed to be in honor of Breast Cancer Month, so pink is the theme of the swap. That's what you'll see in all of these embellishments. And Letty also likes the color pink. She's a shabby chic girl, so I tried to kind of do that with my embellishments. The spool is a vintage spool, and what I did is I used my Prima chalk edger to make the ends of the spool pink, and wrapped some vintage lace around the spool itself. So that's what you're seeing is this lace piece here. And I also painted the top of the spool, so it is pink on both sides. So this is the second charm of 2. And then the next 2 items that I created were the lace, or the altered ribbon, and we agreed to do, I think, 12 inches, but I doubled it just so that she would have a little bit more to work with if she wanted to use this on a project. So this is actually a couple of different trims. There's a wide pink lace at the bottom. You can see it here. And then there is a white colored lace, and it's not symmetrical. It's like scalloped on one side and straight on the other, and it's actually got the same flower, but it's not the same pattern. So I put that on top of the pink, and then Letty had actually given me this velvet ribbon in the last giveaway that she did, and I won the package. So I decided to gift it back to her as an altered ribbon, and it's so nice. It's so soft. And then these are some Recollections Flowers from Michaels. So here is a length of the altered ribbon spool. And actually I did sew some of it underneath the flower. The flower is actually glued down to the ribbon with fabric tack, and it is the strongest glue I've found. It doesn't come apart, and it dries very quickly. So down underneath that, I did sew all of this together, and it's just that one spot, because I didn't want you to see that on the top. So at each interval where there's a flower, there is some thread that holds it all together. And then I went back and used the fabric tack underneath this velvet so that it wouldn't pop up if it got folded or something. So you notice that if I fold it in half, it doesn't move because it's glued down to the lace underneath it. There's nothing gluing the the pink to the cream colored lace though, unless that glue kind of seeped out. But it holds really well, and you'll notice that when you're working with it, Letty, that it will hold together just fine. It shouldn't come apart on you. So that's the first lace. And then the second one is a little bit different. This I used some vintage lace for this one. There's a couple of things on it, and here's the back. I used an Aleene's glue, which is a little bit more stiff, and I don't know how well that'll do, but I used that to attach the 2 back layers of lace, and then used fabric tack between this crocheted or Venetian lace to the bottom 2 layers, as well as the bead trim to the Venetian lace. So it should be pretty good because it's dry now, and I can see that it's, workable. And then what I did was, there's a cream piece of lace here, there's a pink piece of lace, and then there's the Viennese lace, which I dyed with my Glimmer Mist. And actually the color, I think, was something gold, like old gold or something like that. So I didn't want it was white when I started, so I wanted it to be a little bit more on the cream side. So I used a light color to make it look kind of stained. And then this beaded trim here is actually a really light pink. And I use that all the way across. And then at intervals, I put these little flowers that Vicky got for me. I think these were maybe in one of her downtown LA shopping trips that she did recently. She gave me some pink flowers, and they have a little bling here in the center. And I've just put that in every other scallop here, so you can see the pattern there. So yeah, this is the second lace that I created. So those are the 2 trims. I created 2 flowers, handmade flowers. Here's the first one. It's really big. I used some eyelet trim, and what I did was I cut out a piece of acrylic plastic just so that you could not see it behind the flower. And I used some very wide eyelet, is that what they call it? Eyelet ribbon or whatever. I got this in a haul that I did from eBay, where I won a lot of lace, and this was in that package. And so I also layered some eyelash trim on top. I have another piece of pink lace here, and then another piece of cream lace here, and then this is a vintage earring that I placed on top as the center. Now this is a very tall or thick flower, so whatever project you decide to use it on, Letty, I hope it's not a scrapbook page, because it might be a little bit thick to fit inside of a book. But just so you know, it is pretty thick. The other one that I created was a lot, I don't even know what to say. It's not as tall as this one. Here is the other one. And this is a doily that you did give me, Letty. I started that with the base and glued that down to, again, acrylic circle that I cut out. And then I layered some of the tutu trim that you get from Hobby Lobby here on top of that. And what I did was I cut the tutu trim at every couple of centimeters so that it's shredded. And I went around twice in the circle to give it more thickness. And then I put another one of the little doilies that you gave me, Letty, on top of that. And then here is one of those blings that Vicky picked up for me from downtown LA. And it was a ring. I cut off the shank. So you could see that this one is not nearly as high. Oh, there's actually a piece of lace in here too. It's pink. And I started out with that and decided it wasn't thick enough because it was so flat. And decided to go with the tutu trim. So that is under there as well. And here are the 2 flowers together, and you can see one is taller than the other one is. But these are the 2 flowers that I did make. Okay? And then the last thing we did for the swap is some sprays. And this is the first time for me making a spray for somebody else. Usually I make it for projects. But this is much more entailed. They turned out great. These are, this actually to me looks like a corsage in a way. This is something that Letty can use on a project. I left it empty down here so she can use it to connect whatever she wants to it. But these are some These are foam flowers that Vicky got for me in downtown LA. All of them are foam. These are white with pink centers, and then this is just a pink one with some glitter on it, and it came like that. So she also picked up some of these pink sprays for me as well, and I love those. And then I used some Wild Orchid Crafts leaves inside of this spray, and then made a seam binding ribbon. So this seam binding is thicker or wider than the other one I showed you that was on the charm. And that one I had dyed pink with my Glimmer Mist. This one is just a white where I made a triple bow. So that's the first spray. And let me see if I can, whoops, sorry, show that to you really well. And then the second one, I decided to go a different direction, and I used mulberry paper flowers, and these are from Wild Orchid Crafts. All of these are Wild Orchid Crafts flowers except for the actual sprays here. And again, Vicky got me these wheat sprays from downtown LA. She bought a pack of them for me to see if I liked them, and I decided to try them out here. I do like them. They're okay, but not exactly what I was looking for. So anyway, they still look great on this product. I think it really does help with the bringing everything together. So you could see how many flowers I have in here, and there's three different types of flowers. There's these right here, and I don't know what they're all called. You'd have to look at the haul that I did to see the actual item number. That video is still posted. There's these pink, these are solid pink roses. These are white with like pink on the edges, and then these roses here are also white with pink on the edges. And you can see that I used some of the fern leaves as well as some of the pink tipped rose leaves, or I think they're rose leaves. But yeah, so this is the spray that I created using the mulberry flowers, and you can see just how many are on here. So that's why it looks so full. But again, I'm holding this, so it is one piece. They're all kind of, I'll show you the back so you can see how it's all wired together. You don't see the back anyway. So I individually wired each one of these onto the spray, and I just started, actually started on the end with this one and wired, you know, these little flowers on together, then started with the rose, then added another spray. So it's really not difficult to do. You just have to wind them together and make sure that when you're done you have a full piece, that it's not got holes in it or bare spaces. So after I got to this big rose, I started creating another one from the other end and attached it together here, because this kind of the wire kind of runs this length here. So yeah, I got to this point and then started doing a new one and then attached the two together. So this is what I came up with for the sprays. And Letty, I hope you do like my items. I'll be sending out your package hopefully this weekend, unless I get caught doing something else. But yeah, that's my project share. Hope you like it. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below, and talk to you soon. Bye.